Hello, Team video. Today we want to take a look at the regional finals here for Lille Regional. We're going to have the matchup here between ThoTechtical and also Colin6ix, and we will see here a very decent lead for ThoTechtical in the first game. We see a Shadow Venusaur against this Azumarill, as we see the immediate Noctowl coming in here from Colin. Noctowl has access to the Shadow Ball, which will be pretty okay against the against the Frosters here, but of course this is not a Shadow Ball yet, and I'm pretty sure that ThoTechtical will not go for the shield here, as they can now basically try to farm up so much energy. This looks so good for ThoTechtical right now. There's not a lot that Colin can do here really, I think. I'm not sure if they would win the two-shield scenario, but I'm pretty sure they wouldn't, so they're going to let this move go through. Avalanche going to go through here, and they're basically in a horrible position. But what they can actually do here, it's actually not over yet. What they can do is they can try to farm down this this Frosters here with their Azumarill, because Azumarill will now have a lot of energy, will have access to Ice Beam, which might be decent against the Venusaur if it wants to come back into that one. We see the Shadow Ball coming through here, will do a ton of damage, but it will not two-shot it, so it might be a bubble down here, which sadly the Frosters wins with a 1 HP there, so you will not be able to completely bubble it down. And you will go down to a very low HP of health there, but you will be able to have now an Ice Beam. ThoTechtical can go into the Galarian Stunfisk though, which would absorb the energy way better than the Venusaur. This is a smart play here, and Colin going to try to save their Azumarill in the back, but this looks very good for ThoTechtical, as this will be a pretty decent-ish matchup for them. One Frenzy Plant will nearly knock out the opponent's Medicham, plus the Vine Whip damage, it will knock them out. They will be able to get to the moves basically in the same time as Colin will be able to get to Ice Punches here, so this should be a pretty decent game for ThoTechtical first game here. Let's see what is still going to happen. We see the Frenzy Plant coming in, maybe Colin can catch something, maybe the time runs out before, so Colin can go and try to Ice Beam the opponent's Venusaur there. We have to see, but it doesn't really look like it. Colin has already shielded this, and also the Venusaur is close to another move here. This will not debuff the time too much. As you will see here, the time is still not over, like they cannot swap out yet. And ThoTechtical will go immediately for the Frenzy Plant, knocking out the opponent's Medicham. And they will be able to win the first game here pretty easily, because Venusaur was just a monster in this game, to be honest. Venusaur just went through the entire team there, and Colin going to basically surrender there, not throwing the Ice Beam, knowing that this game is over. Let's go into the second game. The second game is coming up here right now. It's also funny that it's on the screen called Losers Finals. Well, it's the Grand Final, but good job original here. And we will see the Noctowl, and the Noctowl will be able to now go ahead and go against another Noctowl. Very good lead for Colin first game here, but we will see the Noctowl going for the Sky Attack first, trying to get some damage on this thing. I don't think he really wants to see Noctowl with his backline here, as we see that they have an Azumarill and also the Sableye. Azumarill's Ice Beam does only around half of a Noctowl's HP, because Noctowl is very bulky, so very smart move to basically get some damage on this opposing Noctowl there first before going into the Azumarill. Also, Azumarill kind of wants to farm up a little bit extra energy here, because of course they're going to have to go into the matchup later on against the Venusaur. Which means if they get some extra energy here, this will benefit them definitely, while ThoTechtical just goes for the Sky Attack, tries to get this Azumarill as low as possible, but has to try to throw for you. Okay, the Ice Beam comes through against the Noctowl. This will not knock out the Noctowl, as ThoTechtical is not going to use a shield here. We will see now the Venusaur coming back in, which is going to get hit by this Ice Beam unless ThoTechtical tries to catch, which they don't. They're going to go for the shield and most likely farm it all the way down, getting a ton of energy, which really helps with the matchup, because now even the Noctowl will not have a great time against the Venusaur, because one Sludge Bomb going to do a ton of damage. Shadow Venusaur hits insanely hard. It's a stab move, it's neutral, and no Pokemon really wants to take it. But looking at this team, it looks very decent for Colin. I'm not sure if ThoTechtical will be able to still get this one here. We will see. We see there's definitely a Sludge Bomb coming through here, which will get shielded. Decent play there. Noctowl is decent against both of the Pokemon, though has still left. But we see another Sludge Bomb coming through before this one here. We will see a no shield coming in. And it's still going to be not over yet. Like, it's going to be interesting. Let's see. We're going to see the Sludge Bomb going to hit here. And we will see now that they can go and try to knock out the opponent's yeah, Venusaur should be the 1-1 game now, because like there's not a lot that the Sableye cannot do against the opponent's Medicham, and I think this is just RPS, and yeah, there's nothing ThoTechtical will be able to do here. This is just game over, and they can just go for the foul play. They're going to no-shield anyway, most likely, because there is no way that they are going to be able to win this game exactly. They're going to no-shield, recognizing that this game is over, and we will see here that, yeah, they're just not even going to throw a move. Like, there's nothing that they can do. This is the thing with the top tier matchups here anyway. Currently, it feels a little bit more RPS than last season, but yeah, this is kind of how it goes right now. Maybe also the skill level goes a little bit higher, but let's go into the third game. Third game coming up now. We will see now that this one will go with Noctowl against the Venusaur. Very good lead again for Colin. They basically go for the same lead again, which is very decent for Colin. Very smart play there. We will see the opponent Noctowl coming in again. It's basically a similar team on both sides. I think it's the same on Colin's side, but though switched up the Medicham in the back and now has a Galarian Stunfisk, which is for this match up way better for them. So let's see how this is going to turn out. Like, the beginning of the match up should be pretty much the same as before. We will see them going to overfarm a little bit on the Azumarill. They're going to go for one Ice Beam. They will be able to knock out the opposing Noctowl here, and we will see that they're going to go for another Sky Attack here, most likely exactly. And actually going to be interesting how much they can overfarm, but they're definitely going to get a shield, most likely from the opponent's Venusaur there, because they're going to have enough energy for another Ice Beam. Actually going to be very close there, but very good recognition there from Colin's side. Perfectly throwing there before the Noctowl gets to another move. And we will see that they're going to actually shield up for this time around. This is something that we haven't seen before, but it's actually a smart move from ThoTechtical here, because this allows them to get the shield back anyway, so it doesn't really risk it too much. And now the Azumarill has a little bit less health, which is a little bit worse for the Venusaur to farm. But also, it will not really be able to get to another Ice Beam because they throw a little bit too early here. I think they could have went for a few more bubbles, but it's a little bit risky if you don't really keep track on the energy completely here. And we see an interesting play there from Colin. I do understand why they did it, but it's a little bit awkward here. They didn't really want to get farmed down, which is like definitely an optional play there, and they think that of course even the Sableye still has play against the Venusaur, and I don't think they really expected that ThoTechtical has the Galarian Stunfisk in the back. So now they're kind of getting hardballed here. There's going to be a very interesting matchup, as this Rock Slide going to hit and this Rock Slide going to two-shot the opponent's Noctowl. And this is going to be a tough one here for Colin to come back from this. They don't get to another Shadow Ball here. They're most likely going to no-shield, and they're going to rely completely on the Sableye. Sableye has to farm up a ton of energy though, and in order to have like any chance at all. And maybe you're going to have to try to sag on the Azumarill. Did you keep track on the energy? They go straight for the Earthquake here. Do you going to shield this move up? I wouldn't shield up, to be honest. They don't going to shield up. As it's still going to be a tough one, I'm not sure. The Venusaur is still going to be able to survive one foul play, so unless you can go for the move here now, this might get shielded, doesn't get shielded, but the Sableye might actually just be in the farm down range. I think just the Venusaur will be able to farm down the Sableye now, and because they swapped into the Noctowl there, it's kinda got into a really bad matchup and they're going to lose this game. I'm pretty sure that the swap into Noctowl kind of lost it there. I think Colin thought again the same team as they faced prior with the with the Medicham in the back, and now they got surprised. So ThoTechtical going to get this lead here for the third game. Let's see the fourth game. Fourth game coming up here right now. We will see that we see the Lickitung against the Noctowl. Very decent lead again for Colin. Noctowl seems to be very strong against ThoTechtical's team so far, and we will see an immediate swap out into the Stunfisk. They don't really have the best answers against the Stunfisk, so they actually ThoTechtical are going to be able to hit a Rock Slide immediately. A little bit risky to go straight for the Rock Slide, could have been caught, but like this is going to be pretty decent for ThoTechtical, to be honest. But what is good for Colin is that they're going to be avoiding now the Lickitung with the Sableye, but I think ThoTechtical kind of planned for this because they're still going to have the Frosters in the back, and now also the Frosters can avoid the Sableye, which would win the 2-shield just farming down the Frostless. So it's going to be an interesting one. We will see that the Sableye will go for one foul play. It is already 2 stored here, and we will see that this one going to do a pretty decent amount of damage. going to go for straight another one, which will knock out the opponent's yeah, Galarian Stunfisk. I think they're going to shield. Yeah, I thought so. Does make a ton of sense to shield here from the tactical. Very well played there. We will see the Rock Slide coming in. Rock Slide will not knock them out, but they will still maybe want to shield this move up. Could be an Earthquake still, but they're going to let this move go through. Kinda risky, but kinda pays out here. But of course, though, can still go for another Rock Slide here, which will be able to connect. And actually knocks out the Sableye. Good recognition there from Colin that they might have the... I mean, they know already that they have the Lickitung there in the back. And they have 2 decent answers against Lickitung. ThoTechtical will not be able to reach an Earthquake here in time, so they can just farm it all the way down. They know the counts, they will be able to just let this move go through. This Rock Slide will not get the shield, will not do damage, and now they have a loaded Stunfisk. Knowing that they already been able to do some nice damage against this Lickitung, they can go for one big Earthquake here. This Earthquake will do around 40% to a Lickitung here, as this one going to hit, going to do some nice damage. Not going to be a 2-shot yet, but definitely a decent spot right now for Colin, flipping this a little bit, and we will see that this next Earthquake going to come through here. Does ThoTechtical invest his final shield? They don't do this here, they will not going to invest their final shield. And Colin going to have a decent time now trying to farm down the Lickitung here with their Stunfisk. Matchup damage going to not do as much damage as you kind of want to have it in this matchup. ThoTechtical going to go for the Power Whip, going to get unshielded here as they will reach another Body Slam here. At the same time though, they throw the Rock Slide, which is an amazing play by Colin, and they will see the Frosters in them back. The thing is, they have a ton of energy with their Noctowl, and they know that. And they also know that the hardest answer for the Noctowl is gone already, so they can go straight for the Shadow Ball. Let's see how much damage it's going to do. There's going to do a ton of damage against the incoming Frosters there, and it's going to pull him into the red health. This should be in range for a farm down with a Wing Attack, and ThoTechtical going to lose this next round, so it's going to be a 2-2 tie. Let's go into the final match here. They're going to go for the big BM with the Shadow Ball just to flex a little bit and have some fun because they know it's over. And we can go into the 5th and final match. The 5th match is starting now, and we will see the Noctowl against the opposing Medicham. Again, Colin just going straight for Noctowl the entire time. I think ThoTechtical just thought, okay, after like 3 Noctowl leads in a row, there's no way they're going to go for another one. They expect me to, can't counter it. But no, Colin just stays with basically a similar team that they always run here. And Noctowl going to be able to now take one Ice Punch here. A risky move to no shield. Definitely Ice Punch going to do a ton of damage, but look how good the Noctowl looks against ThoTechtical's team. All Pokemon are super weak to Noctowl, but this thing being already a little bit lower is a little bit tougher there as well then. We will see that they go into the Sableye, which is a smart move on Colin's part because they expect that their backline might be a little bit weak against ThoTechtical's backline based on the lead that they saw. And that they would be right. You see the Venusaur on the back, which going to definitely have a great time against the Azumarill on the back. We see now one Power Whip coming through from ThoTechtical, getting not shielded here, but Colin is just believing in their Sableye, in the power of the Sableye, as we see here that they can actually go for 2 foul plays, which are going to would knock out at least the opponent's Lickitung there, but they might just going to get a shield from ThoTechtical here. We will see the foul play coming through. We'll see another foul play coming through. This will knock out the Lickitung if they're going to no shield it, but ThoTechtical wants to keep the switch alignment now, and they will go ahead and shield this move up. But Noctowl still is a move stored, so what they could do now is could try to snipe this Lickitung with a Noctowl. They could also go into the Azumarill trying to get some energy, but they're gonna go and try to snipe this one. They're going to have a shield advantage now, and in a shield advantage, Azumarill actually can win against the Venusaur. It's going to be a little bit of a rough ride here, but we will see as they immediately swap out into the Azumarill. Colin gets met here by this Venusaur. We will see that the Frenzy Plant coming through, it's definitely going to get shielded. All the moves from the Venusaur are super effective and to go and do a ton of damage to the Azumarill here. Frenzy Plant comes through, and we will see now one Ice Beam coming through on Colin's side here. They can go for that. They will get the final shield from ThoTechtical, and we will see now that this one going to get shielded. We see another Frenzy Plant coming in here now, and this will also get shielded. Perfect timing by ThoTechtical, trying to get the CMP tie against the Azumarill, making it a little bit better maybe for the Medicham in the back here. And we will see now the shield coming up, final shield from Colin as well. The Ice Beam comes through. This should knock out the opponent's Venusaur, but they're actually going to go for the undercharge, a perfect undercharge to get an extra bubble in, which is going to allow them now to maybe get to the play rough a little bit faster, maybe outspeed the opponent's Medicham, but they can't. Medicham has still a ton of energy left. Medicham going to go for the perfect farm now. They're going for the Psychic now. Perfect farming from ThoTechtical here, and we will see that this will knock out the Azumarill from this range pretty easily, as we still have the Noctowl here, but ThoTechtical will be able to reach an Ice Punch in time. Does this knock out the Noctowl here? We will see. It should knock out the Noctowl, right? It's going to go a ton of damage, but it survives with 1 HP in a Dream. They go for one Sky Attack, and ThoTechtical going to lose this match up here. And they're actually going to swap out already from the camp before. ThoTechtical is just clapping. And this is going to be it for those regional finals. ThoTechtical going to lose it, and Colin going to be the winner. Thanks for watching. See you next one. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.